Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long week. I basically worked for about 14 hours yesterday, I think it was, at the end of the day. So today I have allowed myself to have a very slow start to the day. It's just after noon and I haven't really done anything yet, which is fantastic. I basically just did the dishes and got dressed and read a little bit. I am currently reading The War of Two Queens. It's the fourth book in the From Blood and Ash series. I read the first three last summer when I was in Holland, actually thinking that it was just a trilogy, and I remember being quite upset when I realized that there was another book that was coming out and I had to wait for. So now that book has been released and I went and got the second last one from my local Indigo. So yeah, I've had my slow morning. I just got myself a coffee. It is a large coffee. I haven't been drinking a lot of caffeine, so this is gonna hit me like a freight train of energy. It's gonna be great. I planned for today, I have big plans as far as writing stuff goes. I need to catch up on the class I'm doing, which I have said multiple vlogs in a row now, which is how you know that I keep falling further and further behind. But with all of the job stuff, and all of the moving stuff and trying to get that sorted, it's been difficult to stay on top of it. But I am in a much better place now. I've figured a lot of things out, and I'm going to use today to try and catch up on that. I am also going to use today to create my rewriting plan for Blood of Amberum. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I have printed off all of the notes from my alpha readers, and I have started to go through those, and I haven't quite started to read through the actual draft yet, but I am at the point where I'm going to take into consideration those notes, probably do some skimming of the draft, give myself a refresher, and then start to develop some sort of editing plan, which luckily is something that my previous class, the How to Write a Novel Editing and Revising, that class actually has a whole unit focused on how to create a new kind of plan when you're starting to do edits on your novel. So I'm gonna do a refresher of that and then start to build my editing plan, which I am very excited for. So those are the goals for today. I'm also gonna start to go through all of the stuff that I own. I move in, today's the 18th or 19th, 18th I think. Today's the 18th. I move in a little under 2 weeks. So I am gonna start kind of sorting through all of my stuff today and this weekend, just so that I can start to get rid of things I don't need, maybe start to pack up things I'm not going to need, and just kind of get a head start on that. I also usually get a head start on that because I'm always excited to move. So I'm like, oh, I just want to get it all done now. So I'm just gonna start slow. I'm gonna eat some breakfast, lunch. It's second breakfast. It's second breakfast. So I'm going to have my second breakfast, have my coffee, and then jump into studying, basically, catching up on my class. To talk a little bit about Camp NaNoWriMo, which is coming up at the beginning of April. I am intending on participating, but I'm going to do it in a very relaxed way because I lately have kind of been burning myself out quite a lot. Kind of just comes with everything that has been happening, I guess. So a lot of what I'm focusing on right now as far as life goes is just trying really, really hard to slow down a little bit and try and simplify things and kind of regain some control, because that's something that I've felt as though I've been very lacking with lately. And by lately, I mean probably over the past couple years, honestly. I imagine the pandemic has a big role to play in that feeling, but I also think that it has to do with just how much I've been moving around. I graduated university and then was basically constantly moving, across the country. And then I went over to Holland with the intention of staying in Europe for a while. And then I didn't do that. And everything's just been very all over the place. So I'm trying to reduce the things that I have going on, I guess. I'm just trying to simplify down all of the things I'm doing. So I'm trying to focus more on the important things and spend less energy on things that are really not helping, especially right now as I'm trying to kind of like heal from burnout a little bit. So because writing is one of those things that I'm trying to prioritize, I am going to participate in Camp NaNoWriMo. However, I'm going to make a super low word count goal. So my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo isn't a word count goal. It is more so just going to be consistently writing every single day, because I do believe that it is a muscle, and when I do it more often, I have more ideas, words come a little bit easier, and that was something that I experienced so easily when I was younger because I was writing all the time anyways, and now it's like that's a muscle that no longer has the same strength that it used to have. So I want to focus on consistency rather than large word counts. So that is my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm probably going to try and aim to hit around 200 to 500 words per day, somewhere in that range. My thought process also with this is that I have a hard time not writing more than that. Like I think that if I set my minimum to be, let's say 300 words, then that 300 words is a good minimum for my worst days, if that makes sense. Because on my best days, I write way more than that. But on my worst days, I feel like I should at least be able to get out 300 words. So I'm hoping that this strategy kind of makes it a little bit more encouraging, because it's a very low word count to hit, and I won't be overwhelmed by it. So I'll be more inclined to actually build the habit by hitting that low word count each day. And then on the days when I go over, which I'm sure there will be some, those will just be really good days that I'll be really proud of myself for. So that is the plan for Camp NaNoWriMo. I imagine it's going to be around 300 words per day, especially because I am editing and doing other things that don't involve brand new words popping up, but I want Camp NaNoWriMo to be a way to form the habit of writing new words every single day, even if those are just like words to describe the plot, or words if I need to journal out and figure something out. I'm going to count all of the words. So I'm trying to form this habit without putting any pressure on myself. I want no pressure. I cannot do more pressure right now. But this is still something that's really important to me. So it's a delicate balance, but I have faith in myself and I think that we'll be okay. So that's the plan. On that note, I'm also currently discussing with my patrons. I think I'm going to start doing the monthly live streams on Patreon, probably more often during Camp NaNoWriMo. I had tried to do them before. Last year, I tried to do one when I started my Patreon and no one showed up. So I only had like 5 patrons, so I just decided that I wasn't going to try again until I had more patrons and there was a higher chance of people wanting to attend and like being able to attend. So now I have about 15 and I'm kind of chatting with everyone, and I think I'm going to host some kind of like prep live streams for Camp NaNoWriMo, and then maybe I'll host 2 or 3 during actual Camp NaNoWriMo, and those will be over on my Patreon if you are interested. It is a pay what you can based system, so I think the lowest tier is $3, maybe $4. It's pretty low, but if you're interested in behind the scenes stuff as well as these live streams that will be coming up, and then monthly after Camp NaNoWriMo's over, you can check out my Patreon. I would love it if you did. I am now going to spend some time going through finances and figuring out a budget, because taxes and adulthood we've already talked about it. It's hitting me hard. So I'm going to go through that. I'm going to try and sort through some of my clothes, and then I'm going to do some more classwork.
Lately, I think it's also more than ever. I think that a lack of confidence, which is kind of just a complexity. So if I'm trying to write an interesting sentence, I want to invite it to push back against itself in some way. The sentence may start off in a certain direction, but I want to invite it to push back and complicate its own meaning.
The object of their yearning may be external and event-driven, like to win a pie baking contest, or ways, or a decision. Chances are that character is the protagonist. What elements of your protagonist
did just catch up to week 3 in my course, which is the week that we're currently at the end of, so that's fine. It'll take me like an hour maybe tomorrow to finish this week that we're currently in and finishing up, so I'm totally happy with that. We went through and did like a character self questionnaire where it's basically a whole bunch of questions that they give us, and I printed mine off and basically just did it from the perspective, or not from the perspective, but thinking of my protagonist, whose name is Inya. I might change the name, I'm not sure, but basically I just went out and wrote these like 59 questions about her. Normally, I've talked about it in the past in my last year's NaNoWriMo video, that I'm not a huge fan of doing all of like the character breakdown stuff when following some sort of outline like this. I usually don't do character questionnaires. I prefer to write, for example, short stories about the characters, or I prefer to write their childhood memories, that sort of thing. When it comes to characters, I am 100% a discovery writer to try and figure out who they are. However, this questionnaire actually went quite well. I feel like, I don't know why, maybe I was just in the mood for it tonight, but I thought it went wonderfully. There's also some great questions in here that I wouldn't have thought of, but they're nice little ways to kind of like learn a bit more about your character, like the really deep parts of your character, as well as the really kind of shallow parts, like what is their favorite sound, and what is something that they loved that they were obsessed with as a child, and what's something they're obsessed with now. And it's just things like that that are like, I don't know, I haven't normally done questions like that, but those ones I thought were very fun. So I actually had fun with that one. And I was also writing like a little synopsis. One of our assignments was to write sort of a mini synopsis using everything that you know about the story at this point. And one line that I got out that I thought I just really liked the sounds of it, talking about when my main character gets to like one of the main settings in the book. I put Inya must battle beasts and court etiquette. And I know that's like a super minor thing, but I just like, I feel like I like the way it sounds, and I also like the contrast between those two things. And it's like, that's exactly what she has to go through, is basically still being a warrior, because that's what she is, while also kind of navigating courts, like basically royalty, where there are rules and there are customs and stuff, and she's not used to it and also wasn't expecting it. I feel like that's a fun little contrast, and I like that I wrote that, and I will probably keep that and put it in like little blurbs or whatever, because battling beasts and court etiquette is just, thinking of Inya trying to do that is so funny, because I know how she would handle it. And I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun. I think there's gonna be lots of fun scenes to write. I also put my project up on NaNoWriMo, so I put that I'm prepping a new project for Camp NaNoWriMo this year. I set my word count goal to actually only be 10,000, which is a little over 300 words per day, I believe. Yeah, a little over 300 words per day. So like I said, super low word count. We're not going for high word counts this month. We are going for consistency. I just want to pick up a pen / type on my laptop at least once per day and get out at least 300 words. So I've set up my project on NaNoWriMo now. I added the cover for it. Usually I'll like go and design fun little made up covers in Photoshop, but I haven't had time to do that yet. So the cover is just a clip from the board, from the Pinterest board for the project. So if you're curious, you can check that out. I'll leave my NaNoWriMo linked below. If anyone else is doing NaNoWriMo or Camp NaNoWriMo, feel free to add me as a buddy. I just went through and accepted a couple more people today, and then you can see, you can also keep up with how my camp is going. So that is it for this vlog. As you can see, I want to go to bed, but I do need to get all this stuff off the bed, so I need to finish that up, and then I need to edit this video so that it can go up tomorrow. If you have any questions about Camp NaNoWriMo or what I'm doing for it, if you have any questions about the project that I can answer, or if you have any recommendations for videos that you want to see before NaNoWriMo, please let me know in the comments, and also let me know in the comments what you're going to be working on if you're working on something for Camp NaNoWriMo. So yeah, again, I am going to be having a couple live streams videos preparing for NaNoWriMo, probably at least one, maybe two, and then I'll have a few during April as well. So I'm going to try and host them a little earlier in the day, just so that I can get more people on. But if you are interested in those, you can check out my Patreon. I'm going to host them through Patreon. So I would love it if you joined us over there. And I also think that I'll be on a live with Autumn maybe on April 1st. I have to confirm it. That's the day I move, so I haven't committed to anything yet because I feel like I might just be so tired. But I should be on a live with Autumn soon, so you can follow her. I'll link her channel down below so that you can check her out. And yeah, those are all my updates. But thank you as always for watching and subscribing and liking the video and always having such great conversations in the comments, even though I'm kind of terrible at responding quickly. But I love you all and thank you for being here. And thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to smile. I almost forgot what it was. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.